We have Ian Cameron here on Pub Sports Radio. Best bet next up is 7:30 p.m. Eastern. We have the App State Mountaineers 2-1 versus Boise State at Boise State Broncos. We're at Albertson Stadium in Boise, Idaho. Let's get the line history up here. Now, we have App State coming off a pretty shocking loss to Southern Miss, 38-22. They were road favorites, and they got demolished 38-22. What have they proven this year? It's questionable. But we were very wrong on that early game against Charlotte. I joined you. The market went heavy in Charlotte's favor, and I joined you on that, and App State took care of business. I don't know what App State is right now, and you could say the same thing about Boise State. I mean, who cares? They beat Eastern Washington at home by 37 points. They struggled against Air Force, but they got the job done 49-37. That was coming off of a bye week. Now we have App State coming off of a bye week. App State lose to Southern Miss and then coming off of a bye week. And then Boise coming off their own bye week as 11.5-point favorites. Had opened up at 8.5. They did cover in the end by a hook. Boise State right now is minus 16. This opened up at 15, and within 11 minutes was a 17. A 2-point move immediately, and then got up to 17.5 until there was buyback. 1.5 of buyback. Let's take a look at the total here for this one from a total perspective. We have this one. We have this one sitting right now at 60.5. This opened up at 60, and it immediately dropped, and it dropped to 59 immediately out of the chute. Then it got all the way up to 61.5. Now it seems to have settled at 60.5. When we take a look at the cash flow, we have 85% of the 85% of the tickets and 90% of the cash on App State. Crazy amount of money and tickets on them. Now we've seen the market move back towards them, but it still hasn't got back to the opening line. 60% of tickets on the over and 89% cash on the over. Ian Cameron, take it away.
I'm going to take App State in this spot. I am, plus the points at Boise. And the reason I'm going to do that is because if you look at that, I didn't like App State. I made it very well known. Didn't like the coaching hire, didn't a lot of things with the program. They looked like they were on the decline last year. I made that very clear. But the more I watched them, A.J. Swann's been playing pretty solid for them at quarterback. And, to be honest, their defense has played well. That Southern Miss game, that was all turnovers. Multiple turnovers. There was a pick six in there as well by App State in that game that flipped the game towards Southern Miss completely. If you take some of that away, we saw a situation where, they were able to move the ball, but just a lot of turnovers, a lot of mistakes hurt them. And for Boise State, they're coming off the game against Air Force. It's always physical when you're playing that, triple option, that service academy. Now you're back home, you're laying big points, and Boise's not always been trustworthy as bigger favorites. For App State, it's off a bye week. They haven't played since that loss against Southern Miss. So this does set up pretty nicely here, this particular spot for App State. I will take them plus the 16.5 at minus 105.
App State plus 16.5 at minus 105 for Ian Cameron.